So after doing a somewhat mostly negative-ish review on the Boruto manga, I was like, you know what, let me talk about a manga that I have mostly nothing but love and praise for, and it's one of my top 5 favorite mangas of all time, and that would be HunterXHunter. Now, I first got into HunterXHunter last year through the anime, and it was something I really enjoyed, but then of course I had to read the manga because the anime didn't have everything. And I was completely ignorant to the fact that HunterXHunter had been around for quite a while now. Now look, the point of these videos is for people who might be wanting to get into a manga but they aren't sure. But what I've tend to notice is that most of the people that comment are people that have already read it, but they just want me to validate their opinion on it, which is cool, whatever. But yeah, if you're somebody who's been wanting to get into something else and you're more of a seinen fan, I think HunterXHunter is one of the closest to seinen you will get within the shonen genre. It doesn't really come off usually as overly upbeat and cheesy, despite Gon at the beginning being one of the most bright and cheery protagonists you'll meet. And so for me, HunterXHunter kind of hit that sweet spot where it's like it has good amount of comedy relief, it has enough brightness into its manga or into its story with its characters, but it also covers enough realistic themes for me to kind of enjoy it and to see some of the depth the writer's trying to give the story. Now, to get this out of the way, the biggest praise HunterXHunter usually gets is its amazing power system. HunterXHunter seems to use its power system like it's playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. If you are somebody who, for instance, may have looked at One Piece and may have been a little upset with some of the fights in there, and you're somebody who leans more towards Naruto because of the amazing fights and choreography, then I think you're somebody who will love HunterXHunter because of its amazing fight scenes and implications and use of strategy. Now, something that kind of goes for, it seems, almost all shonens, but especially HunterXHunter, Naruto, One Piece. I can't really speak on Bleach because I haven't read it, so forgive me. But HunterXHunter has an extremely lovable cast of characters. Killua is one of the coolest characters I've read. I really like Leorio. Of course, Gon goes without saying. Netero's really cool, but I'd have to say my favorite outside of the villains from all that I've mentioned is Kurapika. And if I'm being completely honest with y'all, I feel this comparison is a bit unfair because both characters, despite their similarities, are written pretty differently. And that's the comparison between Kurapika and Sasuke. Now, if you ask me which character I like more, I'm gonna pick Kurapika. I don't know, I just never really liked the comparison. Although, I think it's a lot more accurate than the Bakugo Sasuke one. That one made no sense to me whatsoever. Now, something else about HunterXHunter, especially near the later portions of the manga, is its world building is really good, but I think at times it kind of gets pushed to the background because of how outstanding the characters are, and because HunterXHunter is such a character-driven series that really does focus on this character depth, how the characters change over time, grow, for instance, someone like Gon. But my favorite aspect of HunterXHunter, just like it is with Naruto, are the villains. HunterXHunter's villains are probably, it's like up there as the best villains in the shonen genre. Again, I have not gotten into JoJo's or Bleach, so forgive me on that. But if you were to ask me who has the best villains in shonen as a whole, as much as I love the villains in One Piece, as much as I love the villains in Naruto, I feel like the villains are given the most respect in HunterXHunter. Even though I prefer, for instance, the Akatsuki, I felt like the Akatsuki, for the most part, were done really dirty when it comes to their death. Like, the way they lost made no sense, and it felt kind of what usually people point out, plot armor. The main character wins because he's the main character. But with HunterXHunter, I don't really get that feeling. Again, part of it's due to its power system and how it deals with the abilities of a Nen and countering someone else's Nen ability. But yeah, despite maybe not all of them being all stand out in the Phantom Troop, I do love a lot of the villains in HunterXHunter. Of course, Chrollo, Meruem, and Hisoka. And Hisoka was my favorite villain in HunterXHunter, but as you can imagine, it's kind of difficult to rep Hisoka. I get it, he gets turned on because of the whole fighting thing, but you can't be doing that when this little kid. So yeah, it's in between Meruem and Chrollo now. Meruem is a monster villain. Like, I mean a monster villain. This dude is an absolute beast. That's really what I can say about him without really spoiling his character for anybody who's trying to get into the series. If there were any criticisms that I hear about HunterXHunter that do have truth to them, but aren't stuff that really bothers me, just stuff that I've heard from other people, is at times HunterXHunter does have a lot of exposition. Now, for me, that's not an issue because I tend to read very quickly. But in my eyes, if the exposition at the time isn't useless dialogue that contributes nothing to the story, and in fact that dialogue, or too much exposition, if you will, is actually helping to explain something that becomes key to the story, then I'm fine with it personally. Now, something else that you will notice about HunterXHunter within the manga is at times the art style is a little bit inconsistent, but again, the story's great. The art isn't horrible by any stretch of the imagination, but if you're somebody who's like big on art, like Berserk, Vagabond, Gantz, then yeah, you're gonna look at Hunter x Hunter and be like, what is this? And of course, the biggest knock towards Hunter x Hunter or any series that suffers this incurable disease, hiatus, is, well, it takes a while for it to come out. Now, I'm a firm believer of quality over quantity, and I think, or at least I don't plan on dying soon, so I'm cool with series like Hunter x Hunter, Berserk having hiatus, as long as, you know, the story from here on out is planned well, so there isn't a crappy ending. There isn't like a Zetsu that stabs one of its best villains in the back and then turns into this female alien that we don't give a crap about, and then its crappy sequel has to take that concept and run with it. Sorry, getting off topic. I think the only other praise I really need to give Hunter x Hunter that I may not have addressed enough in this video is Gon as a main character. Gon is one of the best protagonists in Shounen, period. I definitely pick him above Naruto and Luffy. Not that Naruto and Luffy are bad protagonists. I love Naruto, and Luffy has grown on me as I've been rereading One Piece recently. But Gon's character and the way it's written within the story of Hunter x Hunter is not what you would have expected at the very beginning. So again, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't gone into it, but I will say you will get your mind blown a lot of the times when you're reading Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter also boasts one of the greatest arcs within the entire shonen genre, being the Chimera Ant arc. And so the thing about Hunter x Hunter that I've been hearing about Attack on Titan, but again, I haven't gone into Attack on Titan, sorry. But something that is true about Hunter x Hunter is that it takes a little while for it to get to the amazing, amazing stuff. It starts off really, really good, but then it's later on into the story where things really just go insane, and well, now currently we're suffering hiatus. The story took a completely different turn than the one I was expecting, kind of like when I was reading Kingdom at the beginning. I thought the entire story was about to be about this, and then it completely switched on me, and I was like, oh, cool. So yeah, if you're somebody who has been hesitant of getting into One Piece because of how long it is, or you just don't want to get into One Piece, you're not interested in Naruto, I think one of the best things the shonen genre has to offer is definitely Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is currently in my number 5 spot. It kind of fights with Vinland Saga and One Piece for that number 5 spot. I kind of go back and forth, all depends on my mood and which one I've read most recently. But yeah, hopefully after rereading One Piece and then having a little more time to analyze all 3 of them and kind of settle down, then, you know, it's more concrete which one's at my number 5. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications. That way you're notified when a new video pops up on some of your favorite anime, manga, or whatever content. As always, this has been The Masked Man. Hope everyone has a blessed rest of the day, and peace.